Hello YouTube, it's me John Avenger once again, and I'm going to do a special video that someone actually recommended me to do before Solo comes out, which I'm not interested in watching, but these are the top 10 things that are better in the original Star Wars over Disney Wars. Now, this is all my opinion. I'm sorry what anybody says. I cannot, hide the fact that these new films don't do anything for me. I watched them once, and I never need to watch them again. And before I start, let me get the Blu-ray of the original films to have a visual aid. Yeah, I got a top 10 list here, and they're not all going to be repetitive. So, got the original films, the only one, the complete saga Disney. This new stuff has no bearing on me. So let's get started before this video turns out to be an hour, because it's snowing out, and I want to get this done quick. Number 10, better scores and music. These films have iconic scores from John Williams. You have Duel of the Fates and The Phantom Menace. You have the love theme in Attack of the Clones. You have the kick-ass theme from Revenge of the Sith. That alone is better than anything in The Force Awakens, Rogue One, and even Episode 8, which I haven't seen. I heard that the music isn't great. The original Star Wars music. John Williams' score, when that theme, when that freaking opening crawl starts, you remember that. In the new movies, they're just borrowing that. And they didn't even have it in Rogue One. Empire Strikes Back. Dun, 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 dun. Amazing music. Return of the Jedi, the movie that gets crapped on, the real Jedi movie, that has a great score. The scores are just better. In the episode 7, I don't remember any of the score. Rogue One, don't remember the score. Episode 8, I bet it's going to have a forgettable score. So that's one reason already why the originals are better. The music is more iconic. I could whistle it in my head. All the scores from all the planets, from Hoth and from freaking Yavin and Kashyyyk and from Coruscant. I remember those themes. I don't remember anything from the new ones. So that's why. I shouldn't say new. I should say the recent films. So that's number 10. Number 9, no SJW agendas. These films were about exploration and about humanity and a man's journey. In the first film, in the prequels, it was about Anakin Skywalker and his journey to becoming Darth Vader. In the originals, it was about Luke's journey from him being a not a poor farm boy, but a farm boy to becoming a Jedi like his father. What is the plot in Rogue One and Episode 7? A bunch of women pretending to be men and saying that they're better than men. Yeah, that's Kathleen Kennedy's agenda. These movies didn't have them. I'm not going to yell because it's like 11 o'clock in the morning over here. But yeah, these films did not need agendas. You didn't need some freaking feminism garbage. Padme was a fleshed out character where she was a freaking queen of a whole planet. This girl is a nobody. I'm not going to say her name because she's a nobody. She's a nobody that comes from junk drug dealers, asshole parents that left her on a freaking planet for into slavery. Yeah, kind of copying Anakin Skywalker, except it's with a vagina. Whoopee. And Rogue One, your lead is boring and has no freaking personality, and her parents also abandoned her. Yeah, what is with these kids being abandoned? No wonder they can't come out to be screwed up, boring ass characters. And these, no. Anakin had his mother with him when he was a kid. Luke had his uncle and aunt, like Peter Parker in Spider-Man. So he had some kind of a relationship. With these new characters, I have no idea where they come from. They're a blank slate, and I don't care. So yeah. And the agendas always ruin the movies because I'm like, oh great, I'm watching female propaganda, feminism propaganda in a Star Wars movie, which it was never about. So screw that agenda right in the face. Okay, number 8, memorable lines. I can go on for days. May the Force be with you, laugh it up fuzzball, nerf herder, freaking, Luke, the Force will be with you always. Do or do not, there is no try. Even in the prequels, Misa Jar Jar Binks, I can remember everything in the prequels compared to the lines. What's the memorable line in episode 7? BB-8, held on! Or freaking, it's true, all of it. Or Rogue One, The only memorable lines was from Darth Vader. I hope you don't choke on your aspirations. That's all I remember from Rogue One. Or I'm one with the Force, the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force, the Force is with me. No, that's repetitive and boring, and it doesn't have any bearings on this. I don't remember blind freaking samurais that can use the Force. They stole that from the Rebels cartoon, where Kanan in the third season is blind. Yeah, you stole from it, freaking Rogue One. That's one thing you stole. And I'm sorry that the lines were way better in the original and the prequels. I'm sorry, I can remember, you know, this is how Liberty dies with thunderous applause. I remember that from episode 3. What is in episode 8 that's so memorable? Oh, the Jedi needs to die or whatever. I don't care. It's just words. It's not meaningful and impactful that stays with me to the day I die. These films just don't have it. I'm sorry. Yeah, they have the box office, but that's it. They don't have the strong writing to remember it the next day like these films did. Okay, next. Number 7 is more memorable moments. The Luke, I'm your father moment, they couldn't even do that in episode 8. The moment where Anakin won the pod race, the freaking Duel of the Fates fight with Darth Maul and with Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, the freaking Luke training in Dagobah, in Return of the Jedi when he's fighting his father and then he cuts his hand off, the freaking Jabba's palace, the freaking, I don't know, even Dexter's diner from Attack of the Clones. I remember that over the girl uses the Force out of nowhere against freaking a stormtrooper that I don't care about. Kylo Ren throwing a hissy fit, which I don't care about. You got Rogue One, which the only memorable thing was Darth Vader kicking ass for 3 minutes at the end. That's it. I don't remember the fight scenes. There's no lightsabers in the movie, which really feels really out of place. You got these people running. That's all I remember. Jyn Erso's running in Rogue One. Freaking Cassian Andor's running. Uh, the droid is running. The freaking Asians are running. That's it. Running. The Running Man. That's what that's what Rogue One was. Bunch of bland characters running. Yeah. In episode 7, BB-8 and the freaking useless hobo and your black lead running. Yeah, that's your memorable moments. Screw you, freaking J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan for episode 7. Running. People running. Gareth Edwards running. That's it. A bunch of running. There's a reason people remember these more, because this is Star Wars. This isn't Disney Wars, the agenda hobo in space, you know? Okay, number 6, better directors. Yeah, George Lucas, Irvin Kershner, Richard Marquardt. That's all I gotta say. Over J.J. Abrams, lens flares master, freaking Gareth Edwards, who makes the most boring films ever made. I like the 2014 Godzilla because that movie at least didn't freaking beat an agenda over my face. As much as people say it's boring, it's a well-shot movie that has good ideas, and even though it's slow, it's shorter than Rogue One. And freaking Rian Johnson. He's an independent director that they made into this freaking commercial trash director. I'm sorry, that's what they did. They turned him from doing movies like Brick and freaking Looper and Brothers Bloom and all these films that people have hardly ever heard of. Looper was his most commercial success, and they try to turn him into Irvin Kershner. He's no Irvin Kershner. Is he horrible? No, he's just not Irvin Kershner. He understands plot and he understands characters and he understands emotions. These new characters have nothing. They have no emotions whatsoever, and he can't direct a bunch of Brits to be American or be good. I'm sorry. Lucas created this, not freaking J.J. Abrams. He was the one that came up with all the ideas. His directing is much more lighthearted. It's not freaking trying to take itself so damn seriously. Like Gareth Edwards, I feel like I'm watching a war film instead of a sci-fi fantasy in space. Yeah, I didn't feel any emotion. It had no emotional pull for me. I can't feel when these characters died. I didn't give a damn. In the prequels and the originals, I did. So, there you go. Okay, next. Better cast. This is a no-brainer. Natalie, in the prequels, Natalie Portman is way better than your precious hobo. That girl is just a D-list version of her. Freaking, whatchamacallit, Liam Neeson is better than Boyega. Freaking Ewan McGregor is better than freaking Oscar Isaac. I can go on and on. Uh, Even freaking Ahmed Best, he's a much more better comic relief than freaking John Boyega or freaking Phantasma or wherever the hell. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. I just had phlegm. I didn't want to do that on camera. But yeah, that's what these movies made me do. The cast was way better. Freaking, let me say this. Carrie Fisher, may she rest in peace. I love her to death. Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and Harrison Ford. The new films, Rogue One, you have a CGI for Carrie Fisher, a CGI Peter Cushing, who was already dead before the movie even got made, before the prequels came out. And you have freaking Beaverface, Felicity Jones, and freaking Diego Luna. And some two Asian guys, Donnie Yen and a guy that I've never heard of. Yeah. Where's the impact? Where's the memorability? Where's the relatability with these actors? I don't know. You just got a bunch of foreigners to do something that was made by an American Jewish man. Yeah. So screw you and you're freaking trying to make this into Doctor Who. You can't make Star Wars into Doctor Who. It's not the same thing. When they put Brits in these films like Anthony Daniels and Kenny Baker and Peter Mayhew and Alec Guinness, these are classically trained actors. Diego Luna has a horrible accent. Freaking Daisy Ridley, every time I hear her speak, I want to punch her in the face. Yeah, I hate her. I can't stand her. I've made that abundantly clear. She is not for me. I'm not attracted to her. Her acting sucks. And, whoever's in Solo, I don't care about her either. The girl from Game of Thrones, I don't watch Game of Thrones. It's just Lord of the Rings with a bunch of Brits in it. I don't care. Thank you. So, better cast, better freaking actors, people that actually are taking. Even Jake Lloyd, this guy got death threats and he left acting because of these freaking idiots. Yet this hobo gets the pass. Where's the justice in the world? Hayden Christensen, at least he's a handsome guy, and I can watch him act over this girl because I've seen him in other films like Jumper and Shattered Glass, and he actually has ability. These people don't. They're just actors that they just got off the got from the UK and say, okay, be our next memorable character. No, it's not working for me. This is done way better. Way better. Okay, I've done enough about acting. Number 4, better special effects. Practical effects in the original trilogy. The prequels, even though they have CG, but Lucas also did a lot of puppets and animatronics and good sets and real things that are actually there. These new movies are just it's a CGI fest in space. They're trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry, your effects suck. Rogue One, I hated the CGI Leia and the CGI Peter Cushing. And it's a bunch of CGI spaceships and AT-ATs and things I saw done practically in the original. I'm sorry, you're just copying this. Episode 7, we're going to bring back practical effects. It's going to be just as good as the original. I'm sorry, you got a CGI droid that is cute, but I prefer R2-D2 that's actually in the costume. Kenny Baker, may rest in peace. And a bunch of CGI explosions, and it doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry. It's not something I like looking at. I like looking at the stuff done practically here that was made by human hands and not a stupid computer. Just saying. It's better effects from the original and the prequels, and this new CGI stuff just doesn't do it for me in these new films. It does in Guardians because Guardians is colorful and takes itself less seriously, and the characters are more memorable. And when the effects are not the stars of the movie. Yeah. They're just part of the movie. Groot looks better than anything in the new movies. Anything. Give me that baby Groot or adult Groot over freaking CGI Peter Cushing that looks like shit. Sorry, that's how I feel. Okay, number 3. This is a big one I want to talk about for a while. Better fleshed out characters. Luke, Han, and Leia. You remember everything about them. Luke was a farm boy. Captain Solo was a freaking smuggler in the beginning, and then he became a freaking general. Screw what they did in episode 7, making him a smuggler again and then killing him off. No. I hated that idea. And then you had, Lando. It's a better character. He wasn't a comic relief like freaking Finn. Just saying. Padme, she was a queen of a freaking galaxy and then became a senator, and then, and then she grew up. She went up in the ranks. She didn't go from queen to a freaking nobody. Just saying. And even when she died, it wasn't like, oh my god, it left an impact. I cried in the theater. I felt something when I saw episode 3. In episode 7, you got, let's see, you got a crybaby freaking villain, which you can add better villains in the original. Darth Vader is the best villain in the franchise. You can't do better than him. Darth Tantrum, where's the map? Where's Luke? Where is he? Where is he? It's freaking Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, just with a bigger budget. And also, you have Snoke. Snoke does absolutely nothing. He's in the first movie as a giant CGI thing, wasted by Andy Serkis's powerful voice, and then in the second movie, he dies. Where's the freaking impact? The Emperor, great freaking villain in episode 3. And then in Return of the Jedi, this guy is serious. He's dead freaking serious. He's a better, memorable villain. Freaking the Stormtroopers are way better in the original. The freaking Clone Troopers look better than these shrunken head versions in episode 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, I can even say 9. Throw that in there. I don't care about it anymore. The whatchamacallit, Phantasma is a nothing character. She's just a female stormtrooper with blonde hair. Whoop-de freaking do. In the prequels, you had female Jedis. Yeah, we win. Sorry, the original canon always wins. I don't care what the box office said. The creatures, the dewbacks, and the freaking Brontos, which are canon because they're in the special editions, and the Womp Rats, and Jabba the Hutt. In the new ones, you got Porgs, cute, but not very memorable. And you got what? The guy that played Simon Pegg's character, I don't know who that is, and you got a wannabe Yoda, Orange Yoda, played by a great actress from, 12 Years a Slave. Sorry, your characters suck. They're boring. Jyn Erso, she's a beaver tooth Brit that can't act and is soulless and has the same facial expression. That's her face. Diego Luna, a Mexican Drake Bell with a horrible accent. A blind Asian guy. He should have been the lead because at least Donnie Yen was trying, for the very least. A droid that gets killed. In these, C-3PO and R2-D2 never get killed. They get shot many times and they never die. In these new movies, they kill off characters like it's nobody's business. BB-8, cute, but he's a copy of R2. He's a beach ball version of R2 with his whittle head. Don't hate him, never will. BB-9E, completely forgettable. Just saying, these characters will live for me forever. The Rebels cartoon, you have Kanan and freaking Sabine and Hera and freaking Zeb and Ezra. I remember these characters because they stuck with me. These new characters, I couldn't give a damn about them. If they all died in episode 9, I would be like, good. You killed these useless freaking recycled stereotypes off. And I'm sorry, I hate Rey, okay? I've said that since episode 7. I hate this freaking SJW fanfiction feminist Mary Sue. She's basically Bella Swan, just not as attractive, and she doesn't wear sexy clothes. And Carrie Fisher's like, no, don't be a slave to the studio. Yeah, what does that mean? You got to be unsexy? You got to be some thin British lady that's the same age as my sister? No. I hate you, Rey. You're not a freaking hero. You're not a messiah. You're a freaking blank slate, useless nobody character from Kingdom Hearts 2. A nobody. A nothing. You'll be forgotten in 10 years. I guarantee it. You won't be better than Darth Maul, better than Kylo Ren. Padme and Anakin Skywalker are better than Finn and freaking this girl. And the Asian girl, whoever that is. She's cute, but I'm not going to see the movie for her. Anakin, unlike freaking your precious hobo, he actually has an arc. And he had a mother, so at least we know where he came from. Luke, Han, and Leia. Memorable in the original films. I love them. I want to see them happy. And then in these new movies, you make them old and broken down. Yeah, that's what I got to say to your precious thing. And that's all I'm going to say. Original films have better characters. And I remember them right here. These new ones will be in a freaking dumpster fire by 2025. I guarantee it. And by the way, Rian Johnson, if they give you this new trilogy, make some memorable characters that we like. Not a bunch of freaking foreigners that I wish were just dead in the first 5 minutes. Sorry, I'm not a foreign guy. I like Canadians. I like some Asians. And there's a few Brits here and there that I like that are old school actors like Michael Caine, but Caine's not going to do this because he's better than this. Okay, number 2, better stories and originality. Every single story George Lucas put in these films was different. It was never the same movie twice. Yes, they go to Tatooine in episode 1, but it doesn't start there. The trade negotiations is better than recreating A New Hope with freaking Force Awakens. It did the same freaking thing, just with new, uninteresting characters. Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, training Luke. What do you have in Episode 8? You got the old man in the mountains cliche training this freaking girl that doesn't even need training because she can do everything. Again, suck it. I'm glad Mark Hamill was bashing on your movie because it sucks. I don't need to see it to know it sucks. And Anakin Skywalker, we don't see his training, but in the cartoons you did, and in the Clone Wars miniseries, they're fleshed out. The stories are interesting. In these new films, I don't even remember the stories. Rogue One, I don't remember. It's not a ripoff of the films, but the story wasn't interesting. It was boring. The first hour is just a lot of talking, and it's ugly and it's boring and nothing happens. And then when the action happens, it doesn't have the impact because you don't care about the characters in these films. You care about the characters here. I cared about Luke's story and Anakin's story and freaking the stories in Rebels and Freemakers and even in Shadows of the Empire, for crying out loud. But these films are just taking stuff from the original source material, from the books and the comics and the original films, and saying this is new and this is freaking innovative and we're remaking history. No, you're not. You're just recycling storylines to make your money. And again, yeah, you're not gonna put nostalgia and call it nostalgia when it's cliche and it's been done before. SJW characters have been done way back in the day. Every single Twilight movie, every freaking movie, every 50 Shades of Grey. That girl is Anastasia Steele is a freaking SJW character too, because she's a blank slate and everybody wants her for some reason. Yeah, give me some substance. That's what these films did. That's why I keep rewatching them, because the stories are interesting. These new films, absolutely no originality whatsoever. Stealing from the other films. Oh, a lightsaber sword. Yay. Darth Maul had a better freaking 2 lightsaber sword. Just saying, a better lightsaber with 2 ends. You have a freaking lightsaber sword. What is this, King Arthur? Yeah. It's better. Just the storylines, more engaging. And I'm invested in the characters so I can go on their journey. These new characters are so boring. I'm like, yeah, I don't care where the story leads in the last movie. I'm glad there was only one more left. There's not going to be an episode 10 anytime soon. And Rian Johnson, please, like I said, if you're going to do an original trilogy, I have no hope for it, but if you're going to do it right. Make an original story. Keep the Skywalkers out of it. Don't dwell on the past. Do your own freaking thing. The video games have done it for you. Force Unleashed, Shadows of the Empire, Dark Forces, freaking Rebel Assault. The stories are there. Just do your own thing. Stop copying this. Please. I'm sick of it. And the number one reason why I can never watch that I could rewatch this over the recent films, rewatchability. Yeah, I know it's redundant. I can watch these movies any time of the year, and I got a smile on my face because I have actors I care about. I love the stories. I love the special effects. The films are shorter, and they freaking are not pretentious, and they're not trying to preach to me. I have not seen episode 7 since I saw it in the theater in 2015. Yeah. I only have the Blu-ray because my dad bought it. I will never watch that movie again. Rogue One. I saw it on my computer. I was so bored. I'm like, I don't want to sit through that again. I hate this movie. It's so dull. The only good scenes are with Darth Vader because your leads aren't cutting the mustard. It's just, let's go to point A to point B and just redo that and just run. A lot of running. Running's not interesting unless you're Tom Cruise. Sorry. I can watch any of these movies over. Episode 1. I saw this in the theater twice. I'm obviously a fan. I never hated this film. Attack of the Clones. I like the love story, the lovey-dovey stuff. I can see that over because I'm like, Natalie Portman, I love your face. I hate Daisy Ridley's face. But at least you're one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. The most beautiful actress I've ever seen. Her and Scarlett Johansson. Episode 3. This was the last good movie in the theater. Sorry, Clone Wars did nothing for me. I know that was before Disney purchased, but it sucked. Episode 7, didn't want to rewatch it. Episode 8, don't care. Freaking Solo, I don't give a damn in May. And Rogue One, I was bored to death. And it's not even, it doesn't, without the opening crawl, it doesn't feel like Star Wars. A New Hope. I saw this when I was 10, and I was hooked ever since, like a drug. It's amazing. It still holds up. You didn't need to remake it. Empire Strikes Back, considered the best of the entire franchise. This new movie wishes it was Empire Strikes Back. The dark tone, the freaking deeper character moments, the romance. Where's the romance in episode 8? Oh, between an Asian and a freaking black British guy that I don't care about. There you go. Table scraps. And this ended the franchise. We did not need a 7th movie making Luke a freaking broken down Jedi that runs away in the mountains like Daffy Duck in that cartoon. Not needed. And also, you had redemption for the lead. I don't care about Kylo Ren's redemption. I don't care about it. I hated that character. Once he threw the tantrum, I was laughing, and I should never laugh at the villain unless it's a comedy. And Force Awakens was no comedy, let me tell you. Like I said, these are the reasons I hate these new films, these recent films, and I love this to death. I will rewatch any of the original canon. The films, I will read the books and the comics and play with the toys and play the video games of anything that Lucas created. This Disney Wars crap is not for me. Matthew, please stop trying to tell me that oh, you haven't seen episode 8, so you can't really crap on it. I read enough to know that it sucks. The 56% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is already a clear indication it's not good. It's just commercial trash to live off of nostalgia and beat agendas over your head. Even though I'm a man, so it doesn't matter to me. Kathleen Kennedy is a freaking she-devil. She needs to get fired. I don't want her touching Marvel or DC or anything else because she ruined this franchise. This is Star Wars. That is Disney Wars hobo freaking in space. Nobody is going to care about those films in 10 years. Nobody. And I'm obviously a fan of the original canon. I went to Star Wars Night last year. It was great. More people were dressed up as the original canon characters over these bland, boring, forgettable new ones. Sorry. And like I said, all of these reasons are reasons why I will stick with this. I'm not going to see Solo in May. Don't ask me. I have no interest. Another guy playing Han Solo that's not Harrison Ford. Don't care. Don't hate the actor, just don't care. And explaining too much. That's another reason I forgot. The originals didn't have to explain everything and spoon feed you the character that arcs. His new ones might as well, because they're just they're nobody. So we're just gonna say, oh yeah, anybody can use the Force in this new universe. No, they can't. If that was the case, then Han could have done this in Empire or Jedi, but no. But anyway, the originals will always be the best. I will always look upon them as gold because that's what they are. These new films are freaking gold-plated. They're fake. They suck. They're not memorable. And at the end of the day, box office or not, they'll never be the classics that these are. End the story. So thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoy this. This is not just a bashing on the new films because, it's not just that. I just wanted to get this out of the way because I'm not talking about it in May. And, I've always wanted to see a new Star Wars film, but we didn't get that. We just got regurgitated crap from previous films and from the comics and books. Come up with something new, please. Not screw off. But yeah, these will live forever. I'm always going to rewatch them over these new films. And I have nothing else to say except have a good day. Stay warm. It's snowing out in certain places. And I'll see you guys in the next review. I'll go back to movies with vowels. Later.